containers.
Hey! Uh-oh. I heard neither of you.
Well, I didn't say anything.
Oh, now I heard you.
Yeah.
What about now?
Now I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
We're getting so good at this, you guys.
Yeah.
Within the first 40 seconds, we're
Who's in
all
the
hearing each
background?
other. Hello, and welcome back to RTFB. This is Travis, and today Chris, other Chris, Danielle, and I are presenting a science fiction double feature just in time for Halloween. That's right, today not only one, but two John Carpenter movies that, believe it or not, were actually based on short stories, so they technically qualify to be on RTFB. Today, we're talking about The Thing, based on the short story Who Goes There by John Campbell Jr., and They Live, based on 8 O'Clock in the Morning by Ray Nelson. Quick note to those who like to read the source material first. Both of these seemed really hard to find, at least in the usual places. Or they were included in some collected works type books, which were out of print. But as always, your local library might be able to hook you up, or have an ebook version or something you can rent. Or there are PDF scans of both of these out there in the internet tubes that you can find with minimal searching. Also, if you've never seen either of these movies before, stop this recording now and go fix that. I'm of the opinion that both of these movies are way better if you go in cold, so I don't want to spoil even a little bit of them. Both of them are on your streaming service of choice to rent, and right now it looks like They Live is free to watch on Tubi. The Thing is on AMC+. And I'd also wager that The Thing is probably going to be playing on cable this weekend, so that might be worth investigating. Also, these are both classics, so again, your library probably has one or both to rent. Anyway, once you're ready, let's get back to my conversation with the Chris's and Danielle already in progress. And look,
My magic band arrived yesterday, so.
Lego typewriter.
Oh, Magic Band.
Oh, nice.
Real
Yep.
typewriter.
Real
And a
typewriter.
llama.
I like the llama.
Yeah. And yes, cats, or are they?
Oh my god.
Have
Maybe
we
they're
seen
pink.
Have we seen these cats? Have any of the cats been alone?
They've all been
Flar-
with me.
Oh, okay.
Cats are flargans, right? I learned that from Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They were already
Yeah,
from
they
space.
still have tentacles. They just come out their mouths.
I've seen a couple of pieces of media about that, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on the internet.
A few times.
Best not to go into it.
Yeah.
How's it going, you guys?
Oh, you know.
It goes.
Yeah.
Oh, there they go.
Tough things, good things, all the above.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True dat. Same as it ever was.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, we had peaceful times in the world, and now we're going to have interesting times again.
I'm sick of
So there we
interesting
go.
times.
Seriously.
Me too.
I'm
Yeah.
over it.
I'd like a couple of years where not once in a lifetime events happens.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, that'd be pretty
I
cool.
don't want anything to be happening. Just nothing. Let's just
Yeah.
stop.
Just nothing is awesome.
Yeah.
Tired.
I
like-
got a taste of that. My Havaya today, my Sunday school teenagers were fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about Jewish foods and what makes a food Jewish.
Mm.
And what do we think of impossible meat? Things like that.
Yeah.
So,
What do we think of impossible meat? Is it kosher?
Well, that's the thing. It is technically kosher,
Mm-hmm.
but it can violate the spirit of kosher.
Oh.
Because the whole, we're talking about, can you have an impossible meat cheeseburger? Technically, yes, you can,
Uh-huh.
but it does violate the spirit of the.
I just want to say that this is an incredibly Jewish conversation. Like,
I just want you to
Welcome.
know if there's rules
Yeah.
about food, I'm out.
Yeah.
I will have no rules for my food.
There
I can't.
are rules about food. Ours are actually a little. I will say the one thing Islam did okay was like, we're going to borrow all this stuff from Jewish people. Oh, but your food rules are complicated. We're just going to say no pork.
Plus, yeah, you totally have food rules. Like, what if you drop your hot dog on the ground?
I can still eat it.
Yeah.
The 5-second rule is bullshit. Like, you get bacteria anyway, but like, I'm just gonna go ahead and eat it.
Well, I mean, you get bacteria on everything.
Right.
So,
so if you didn't drop it and then you dropped it, there was still bacteria on both. So like, I'm gonna
it doesn't matter.
That hot dog was dirty when you bought it.
Yeah.
All that matters is, do you want grit from the street on there or not? That's it.
That's right.
I usually ask them to hold the grit. Is that what they mean
when they ask you with or without?
Yes. No.
That's called a Chicago-style dog, you guys.
Yeah. I actually like Chicago dogs with that green relish.
Oh, yeah.
It's tasty.
The Chicago hot dog is
and the pepper.
One of life's great pleasures.
It is.
Yeah.
And sports chilies.
Yeah. We ended up coming down on, we came up with our own little thing of kosher, intent, and culture. Mm-hmm. So we can follow the kosher rules because some of us do. Leah, who's there, is the rabbi's daughter. They are kosher. They basically live like modern Orthodox. Mm-hmm. Like most rabbis do, because that way a rabbi in the Reform movement and their family can have any Jew over to eat.
Yeah.
So no one will get left out.
Mm-hmm.
So Leia does, but they're vegetarian for the most part to help kind of manage it all.
Yeah.
So they don't have to have like 2 of everything. But we talked about like it, to be Jewish food, it can be kosher or kosher style.
Yeah.
Like, and that comes in with the culture and the intent. Like, because we talked about like Jewish delis.
Yeah.
Like some survive and are still kosher. Right. Others are no longer kosher, but they still serve all the same stuff from 100 years ago. Yeah. They just don't want to or can't afford to go through all the actual stuff to get certified kosher. Mm-hmm. So, like, I would say then that's kosher style, and that's up to the individual Jew on whether they want to engage in that or not. If they feel comfortable doing that. I do. Yeah. I'm not an Orthodox Jew, but I've done that when I did the food truck thing, like tasting. Yeah. We made the falafel. We did the whole full-on certified kosher thing, and that was interesting and time-consuming and expensive.
Yeah.
So that was our highest expense, was paying the rabbi guy to be there with us while we made all the stuff and to wash everything for us so it was kosher.
Nice.
The holiness cost extra.
It does.
Yeah.
A lot extra.
So, theoretical for you. So, if you have a pig, no.
Not kosher.
You can't eat that. But, if an alien from space is trying to replicate a pig, and you kill it mid-transformation before it has cloven hooves, kosher or not kosher?
Not. It's got to have the cloven hooves.
I don't know, like irresponsible.
Unless you're turning it into a bird, it has to have cloven hooves and chew the cud.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you have some animals that chew cud but no hooves, like camels, not kosher.
Yeah,
pigs, I think it's because they
camel?
Someone.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
They eat camel in the Middle East if it's, if you're a Bedouin and it's out there and it dies and there's, no food.
They don't have Impossible Burgers in the desert. Then.
Right. Like, it's not, it's not common. They're much more likely to, use camel milk to make cheese and stuff, but.
Yeah.
You can use the camel too, like if you're Muslim, we can't, but they can.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
do
that.
I would try it once.
Sound very appealing.
I would try it just to try it. Like, if I ever make it to Central Asia, to one of those countries where they do horse as a traditional meat, I'm going to try that. Yeah. So I'll try everything once.
I don't know. Be careful what you eat. Sometimes if
it's given to me.
Don't eat any bats or anything from a wet market.
No, I'm not going to do that. Well, I would go to a wet market, but I'm not necessarily going to eat bat.
I don't think I would do that.
But
I might stay away from a wet market.
I mean, it depends on how it smells. That just means
you're buying shit in like a tank and other stuff there. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to go anywhere near wet anything.
Where do you think your seafood comes from?
I don't eat that.
Seafood.
A fish market, but
gross.
See,
I don't
you do
eat
have
that.
Yummy,
food rules.
delicious.
Your food rule is nothing that swims.
That's just my preference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's got food rules.
It was interesting though. We had a good discussion on like where our dishes come from, because most of them are adapted from the cultures that were around us, but you just kind of adapt it to meet, especially traditionally, the kosher laws, and that makes it a Jewish food.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And it got spread around, and like in America, we get this great melting pot of Jewish dishes, that becoming uniquely American Jewish things. Like, we don't divide it all out because we don't need to by the communities.
Yeah.
So I'm like we all have, like I said, I make Sephardi charoset for Passover. Mm-hmm. It's delicious. Why not have it there? It fits the bill. You know, it's better than the Apple one. So
yeah, I agree.
You know,
What that box was on for?
Oh, yeah.
It was good. It's fun to get teenagers talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
See what they think and what their families do and, you know, how they feel about it. So
to have a conversation with people who are engaged, you know?
It was, yeah.
And not like, I don't know the vocab.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Not to go down that tangent.
These kids are great. They're talking about their grades before we were eating lunch. They're like, oh yeah, I've got like a 98 and blah, 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 and I'm an AP this and AP that. And I'm like, oh, you would be my children if I had any. So,
spiritually, they're your children.
Like, you're all doing great in school and you were in AP classes. Oh, perfect, you know. Yeah, nice. They know the vocab, so. Yeah. Maybe not the Hebrew vocab, but the English, no problem. Some of them do Spanish pretty well, too, I've heard.
Nice.
So.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, not to rush things along, but we have a heart out today, so.
Okay.
Oh
Let's jump into this.
Yeah.
So, quick survey of the group.
Uh-huh.
Who here has ever seen these two movies before?
Oh, neat.
Both of them?
Yep. Both of them.
I've seen The Thing before, but I had not had the pleasure of They Live.
Oh my god.
Which I actually really liked, so.
Yes.
You fucking should have.
Yeah. Now that I've seen it, I'm like, how did it take me until I was 40 to see this? Granted, it didn't come out till we were like 5 or 6, but still.
Like,
how did you not see this when you were 5 or 6?
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't allowed to watch movies like this at that age.
Only rated R.
It said,
yeah. Remember, Travis, I had a mother who cared about me and restricted these things from 5-year-old me. Not that your mother's didn't. That's just a joke. But I wasn't allowed to see these things.
Yeah.
And I did great. So I was only exposed to them when I was ready.
Yeah.
But I did miss out on some stuff early on because of it, too. So
I am almost positive that other Chris and I both saw it in Mike's basement. Both of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
That seems appropriate.
Yeah.
From what I've heard of your guys' youth.
Yeah.
And they're both awesome. Danielle, exactly. I'm sure you're a big John Carpenter fan, right?
I had seen neither of these, as I'm sure you both expected.
Uh-huh. Right.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
Are you? Which one did you like, if any of them?
I mean, I was awake in both of them, so
that's something.
I didn't fall asleep.
I expected you might not make it through our second one.
I had to make it through the second one because it was so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Which was the second one?
We did The Thing, and then They Live.
And then They Live. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We did the seriouser one first, and then the sillier one after.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I have to separate the cats.
Which I think is a fine way to do it.
It is.
All I know is it's true is that The Thing's special effects hold the fuck up.
Yeah, they really do.
They do. They're awesome, and that's what that's usually talked about. Is that?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But They Live's message was great. And I was like, this is still completely relevant. Yeah. There's just more shit now.
The message is put the glasses on.
You dirty
wake up. I loved especially how the money was literally labeled, this is your God.
Yes.
Like, yes, it's still our God today in America. So,
amazing.
Listen, everybody sells out.
Yeah.
Most people do, unfortunately. Sometimes you have to get what you need.
Who among us has never sold their whole species out to an alien race for a couple of dollars?
All I want to say is, like, I want to be on the winning team, so whatever I got to do, I guess.
Yeah. If there was an avenue, you could be in that group without looking like a weird robot thing. Like
right. Formaldehyde face.
Muscle skeleton.
You mean a fleshless human with bug eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they reminded me of.
Yeah.
But just doing normal shit. Like, I loved at the end. I loved at the end when that lady's boobs are flopping around. She's fucking this guy. And she looks down, and it's one of them. He's like, hey, baby, like, what's the problem? I'm like, oh my god, that's fantastic.
Think more movies need to reward you with an unnecessary sex scene at the end.
Yeah. Well, we kept wondering where it was. Yeah. I was like, where could it be? This movie is
because it's a graphic nudity.
That's it, right at the end there.
Graphic nudity.
Right.
That's it.
Pretty great. So, Eoval, did any of you read the short stories?
Yes.
Okay.
Nope,
did either of you...
The one I read a long time ago. And the other one I read more recently.
Which one was a long time ago?
Who Goes There?
Ah, okay.
I read in college.
Nice.
But have not read since. I meant to and did not.
Is that what The Thing is based off of?
Who goes there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, why
Sounds
didn't anybody in the movie be like, who goes there?
They almost did. And that was driving me crazy. Like, who is that? Who could it be?
Who goes there?
I wonder who's coming over. I'm like, just say the thing. I'm like, very unsatisfying.
They didn't do it.
Never said it. Yeah, I read them recently. And I just learned that They Live was based on anything at all. So,
yeah,
that was a nice surprise. But
yeah.
So yeah, I like it when things randomly fit our idiom, and we can talk about like 40-minute wrestling matches in the middle of movies.
Yeah,
that was like a
not
third.
To spoil
what was up with that?
It's the greatest fight scene of all time.
Yes.
Or like, are they still fighting? Yeah, they're still fighting. Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
they're fighting.
They
again.
might still be fighting as we speak.
Maybe.
Just never know.
Yeah.
So, to kind of jump into it, so there's one guy we got to talk about for both of these movies, aside from Keith David, is the director, John Carpenter.
John Carpenter.
Good old John Carpenter.
Yeah.
So, he was born in 1948 in New York.
Oh, cool.
And moved to Bowling Green, Kentucky in 53.
Ooh, downgrade.
And spent a lot of his childhood in a log cabin.
Oh my god.
I believe that.
New York? Good grief.
I've driven through Bowling Green, Kentucky. There's not a lot there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a good place to go to get away from civilization.
And to think of weird, creepy shit to put on film, I guess. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isolation does stuff to you.
Just him in his log cabin with his synthesizer. Just coming up with shit to do. Yeah. So yeah, he's made like 1 billion cult classic movies in the horror action / sci-fi genre, like Halloween and Escape from New York.
Yes.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Absolutely.
One of my favorites.
And The Fog.
Oh,
and
really?
Christine. But yeah, most prolific in the 70s and 80s. Although I guess he's come out of semi-retirement to kind of help consult with the rebooted Halloween series.
And he did a thing on TV show recently on Hulu talking about real life, like horror stories, essentially.
Ooh.
So John
I need to look into that.
Like his name's on it, like he talked to people or something, like consulted.
Nice. So yeah, he's also a music composer. Like did a lot of the music, or at least co-wrote a lot of the stuff in his own movies.
Oh, okay.
So that weird, like Stranger Things, I think leans pretty hard into it. Like synthesizer music,
absolutely,
for sure.
And even noticed that Hans Zimmer says he was a big influence for his stuff. I'm like, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you have a favorite John Carpenter movie, other Chris?
Oh, geez. Well, I mean, I think that it is important to regularly revisit the sort of John Carpenter, Kurt Russell trilogy.
Yeah.
Of The Thing and Escape from New York and Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
Like three very different movies.
Yes.
But all incredible in their own way.
Yeah. Yes. He so what's the chronological order that Snake goes through? Is he escaping from New York / St. Louis to Alaska and then back to New York, or like Keith David got out of there and went to wherever they were and then had to fight these aliens, so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I do tend to see them as distinct, I guess.
Not the same guy. Okay.
Like there's no
stories.
there's no overarching headcanon there for me.
Okay.
But no, I appreciate also that like Kurt Russell's playing very different characters in all of them too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
and always does a good job.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm going out on a limb. Kurt Russell's a pretty good actor. I don't know.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah.
Colonel Jack O'Neill, amongst many others.
He was a planet once.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Recently.
I remember that.
Like that seeing him in this movie made me realize that he was a pretty good choice for like Chris Pratt's dad, because he kind of looked like him when he was younger.
Yeah.
Yep. So, which book/movie should we talk about first? Do you want to do serious then funny, or the other way around?
Let's start serious, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about The Thing / Who Goes There / Frozen Hell.
Alrighty.
Depending on what you, or where and when you read it. So, This short story was written by John W. Campbell Jr. in 1938.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Classic.
No one was alive then, so.
No one.
Yeah. Yes, also published as The Thing from Another World, depending on which magazine you read it.
Yeah.
And apparently was a condensed version of a novel he had written before called Frozen Hell that they found and published in 2019. So, yeah. If you want to hear more about it, I'm sure you can find that somewhere.
I'm sure you can.
Google will know.
I may do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been adapted into a bunch of different things. Like, this isn't the first time it's been a movie either. Like, the first movie was back in the 50s.
I've seen that one.
I don't think I have.
And it is...
I haven't seen it.
Surprisingly not so different.
Yeah?
The effects are much better in the 80s one. But.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Does anyone's head get up and walk away in that version? Or
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. But, you know, it's been radio dramas, it's been card games, video games, and everything like that, so. So this guy, John Campbell Jr., was born in 1910 in New Jersey and died in 1971. He went to MIT despite not graduating high school because he didn't get his French or trig credits. Then he also didn't graduate from MIT.
Oh.
But eventually got a Bachelor of Science from Duke in 34.
Not too bad still.
Yeah. Not too bad.
That's in my state, Duke.
Yeah. And Duke sucks, apparently.
Do they?
Says the internet. I don't know.
They don't charge for a sucky school, so who knows? Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so he started writing at 18. Wrote like a bunch of short stories and something like 8 other novels. And also was an editor for a sounding science fiction magazine.
Oh, okay.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
He shared one of the very first Hugo Awards in 1953.
Oh, cool.
And the Wikipedia has a big section about how he was like a troll before the internet was around.
Oh, yeah.
Liked taking the devil's advocate positions on discussions just to make them more lively.
Yeah.
But he also... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think a lot of sci-fi writers like credit him with making them better. Yeah.
As far as editing their stuff?
As an editor, pushing them to write differently. And I think, if I remember correctly, he was actually, kind of credited with, like, turning science fiction more from, like, a pulp thing to, a more serious form of writing.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is
Speaking of people who helped shit, in my new citizenship country, Hugo is from there, from the Hugos.
Is that going to be on your test?
No.
Victor
but I didn't know that. I learned about that when I was looking this stuff up.
Oh.
Like,
it's going to be on the citizenship test.
Yes.
I wish. That would be an awesome question. Like, did you know Hugo Gernsback was from Luxembourg? I did not, but now I do.
Oh, it's not named after Victor Hugo?
No.
Oh my god, I would fail this test. Really hard.
Victor Hugo's from the southern neighbor France, as I recall, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. Mr. Campbell liked taking devil's advocate positions in discussions, which, okay, but also, like, went on record saying slavery was probably good for black people, because it gave them a higher standard of living than otherwise, so, like, fuck that guy.
Did it, though?
He was just born a little bit too early to be, like, on the Florida Department of Education.
I want to be like, you do know, well, I guess you don't know that, like, the people in Africa who were kidnapped to do that lived in, buildings made out of usually mud, but
Yeah.
it's not like they were living in straw huts or anything. Like, they had a civilization going.
Yeah. And it's hard to say, here's what happened to them after we stole, all of their citizens for
took
slavery.
Away their freedom and their self-determination. And
what would have happened if they just hung out and just chilled?
Wars,
anyway.
But continued cool empires. That's what would have happened.
Yeah, I saw it in the documentary Black Panther. It would have been great.
Yeah.
The Mali Empire was pretty impressive, actually, for when it was around.
Yeah. So, a couple of my thoughts from reading the book.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the copy that I had, must have been from a scan or something, because it was filled with spelling errors and, words I'm like, that's probably not right. But it's hard to find it anywhere except in, big-ass collections, so.
Right.
Anyway, I couldn't keep any of the characters apart except for McCready.
Yeah.
Maybe that's on purpose.
Well, that's a fair point. But, I think it's because of how the style and the language were very dated.
Okay.
Written in the late 30s. It was a lot of, high pants, fast-talking guys, and a lot of things done in dialogue where I'm like...
Oh, yeah, we don't know that anymore.
I need more hints. Someone needs to have said this.
Right.
I'm not following. And just, long discussions about, well, I'm not going to stay up with this freaking alien. I'm going to have nightmares and stuff. But I got the feeling they weren't sending their best scientists to Antarctica because, in the book, they basically start having recovered the alien. And they're like, here's this alien with 3 red eyes and tentacles and stuff. Let's thaw it out.
It's a good idea.
Sounds good.
Let's just...
Yeah, I think back then, since it wasn't quite as nice as our stations got later, it was very much you have to have a drive to want to go there.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you were always the top in your field, but just that you wanted to go see this place.
Yes.
This movie led me to believe that Antarctica is not really as cold as it's supposed to be.
It is.
They were not wearing any amount of warm clothing.
It is less cold now than it was in
their summer, but even there it's still pretty cold. In their summer it's warmer. Yeah. Because I had to look that up since I want to go there, because that's when all the tours run.
Yeah.
So you can have some days where it's not freezing.
Right.
So if you're comfortable being outside with that for a while, then you're okay. But
just walking around in his blazer jacket.
That's still usually not recommended.
Right.
Yeah. He probably should be dead, but whatever, I guess.
Sometimes hatless.
He looks cool. Yeah. His hat was the main character, actually.
I mean, you could do that if it's the summer in the daytime. You could not wear a hat and be okay to be cold.
But in the book, one of the scientists is hey, we're not going to get a disease from this guy, are we? No. We can't get diseases from fish, and this guy's from another planet. It's probably great. Let's just go.
Turns out, it's rare, but you probably, if it mutates, you could.
Yeah, and who knows?
Right.
Who knows? And they were really concerned about it, figuring out that birds existed, and be oh, I could just be a bird and fly away from here.
Oh, shit.
So, they do, in the book, lock away, what was his name? The one guy. Pretty early on. The Wilford Brimley guy.
Blair.
Yeah,
Lock him in a room and just forget about him for a week and oh shit. After all this alien stuff happened, we should check on him. And he's he's created an anti-gravity machine and an arc reactor.
Oh,
Good thing they can kill him real quick before he flies away, but yeah. Anyway, the end.
The end.
I thought the movie did a pretty good job of keeping the core of that short story in place.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the movie. This came out in 82, although it was in some form of production since the mid-70s. It got passed around to a bunch of different directors and writers. Yeah. They filmed for 12 weeks in Juneau, Alaska, and British Columbia, and refrigerated sets in LA. So that's probably why he was able to just walk around in a snappy bomber jacket and
he looked so cool.
And his Ugg boots or whatever.
And his weird cowboy type hat.
Oh, that hat was awesome.
That hat, man. That was
his Pharrell hat.
It's like a Canadian Mounties hat.
Yes.
Star of the movie.
Hold on, let me get my helicopter hat on.
Yes.
Everyone needs a helicopter hat.
Don't we all?
Yes.
I've never been on one, but I need a hat for it.
If I was going to go on a helicopter, I'd buy a special hat.
Exactly.
It had a budget of $15 million, and the box office was just under 20. Although it was instantly panned as junk and visually repulsive by critics at the time.
Well, that sounds like
well, it's pretty.
They didn't know what
that's why it's good.
They were talking about.
Yeah,
I feel like they maybe overreacted to be like, yeah, that looks really gross.
Critics had different standards back then.
Yeah, that was the point, though. Like, it's supposed to look really gross.
They didn't have gross shit like that, like to that degree yet.
Yeah. And, like, a lot of things around this time, like, once it came out on home video, everyone's like, I'm going to watch this every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so I remember seeing tons of worn copies of The Thing floating around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, everybody, I didn't have it, but everybody else did. And it was always at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
It's probably in that $5 bin.
Probably is.
Yeah.
I bet it is. Also, random note, if you type that into Google, it does some random shit with, like, snowflakes and people. I don't know what else is important about that, but I kept seeing it scroll across my page when I was doing research, so try that out.
Okay.
Sounds exciting.
Totally, right? Yeah. So we kind of talked about it already, but, like, the reason I think it has this cult classic status is because of all of the practical effects and kind of the serious way they set up a kind of silly story.
Yeah.
But the drama in it's pretty good too. Like they set up we don't know who the fuck the thing is, who's the thing pretty well, So it might not be the perfect movie, but it's pretty good at what it does.
Yeah.
I think that helps.
Sowing seeds of distrust.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was, I think, the best edit they made in the movie was the book opens where they're looking like, this is an alien, you guys.
Right.
I hope nothing bad happens. Where in the movie you get the helicopter chase of the dogs. And I'll say for Danielle's credit, like, she was like, is that dog the thing?
Yes. At the moment it was. Yeah.
Why are they shooting that dog?
We wouldn't have had all this problem if, like, those guys had just been better shots to begin with.
Yep.
Freaking Norwegians. Come on, guys. I thought you
That's
had,
why
like,
it's fun if you watch
the
second one, the newer one, that's also kind of a reboot, even though it's a prequel.
Yeah.
Then you get hey, look, here's an alien in the ice. Should we dig this up?
Oh, yeah, because the remake was, like, supposed to be about the
Norwegian team. Yeah.
Yeah. I never saw that.
I did.
Was it worth?
It's okay. You should see it once. You should see it once just to see it.
Yeah.
It's got Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it, so you can't go wrong. Yeah.
Danielle will abstain.
That doesn't sound like a review for Danielle to see.
Yeah, just Danielle watch Big Trouble in Little China and stuff.
Oh, even better.
Yes, that's the better choice between the two.
Yeah.
Between New Thing and go with that one. So.
I also liked it because, this was back in the days when all the credits were before the movie started.
Yeah.
And the only person billed was Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I was like, I guess he's the only one in it.
Danielle's like, is this a one-man show? It's like, just him and Antarctica?
I've been surprised watching movies from the 90s how long that stuck around.
Yeah.
Like half your credits before the movie when it's starting and half at the end. I'm so used to them not just being at the end. I'm like, wait, this lasted until like 96?
I like it. I want an overture in movies again.
Yeah, I mean, I am like, it still catches you off guard if you're watching a movie from like the 40s.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Where like literally all the credits.
Everything's in the
all of
them.
And all you get is like a little, like, the end. Like,
basically.
It's done? Oh.
Yeah, and you might get a here's who they played if they didn't do that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, this was them and them, and like, over, go home. Or the next one's coming on soon, Yeah.
Right. If you fell asleep, we're going to start the newsreel again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll go back into it.
And get all the trailers.
Yeah.
Even though we don't need them, I kind of wish we still had newsreels.
Yeah. Or
that'd be fun.
Newsreels and cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need more cartoons, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Disney has done okay with putting the shorts and stuff, Disney and Pixar, before their movies, but I don't know, like, heavy metal or something before a John Carpenter movie. Like, something like that.
Right. Yeah, that'd be appropriate.
I want to see dragons and the bikini ladies, and then I can watch my horror movie.
Awesome rockin' boobage.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be right. A good match for it.
So I guess this was supposed to take place in the 80s also because they had that Apple computer He's playing chess on.
I like the green screen.
With its perfect speech function.
Yeah.
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 And then he just ruined it.
Yeah.
You can't get that fixed, man. You're in Antarctica.
Someone's
going to be delivering
alcohol
a computer.
abuse. Like, that's a
next time somebody wants to play chess, they're just going to be shit out of luck.
It's like, I'm sorry that you suck at chess, but you didn't ruin it for the rest of them.
Yeah, you got to wait till the resupply missions after the winter.
Yep. Bring me another Mac, please.
They will. Governments fund those things pretty well. Keep the people there happy, so they'll get you one later.
Yeah. Did they ever tell us what they were researching? What were they doing there?
Probably ice cores. For Americans, it's probably science, and then maybe spying on the Soviets somehow. Oh, because the Soviets had a base. That's right. You can go if you go there now. You can go see the old Soviet base because it has this plastic bust of Lenin out there that they put out that's been like sun warped and colored and shit, and pretty fun to look at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
weird.
Yeah, probably spying on the Soviets when they weren't doing ice cores and whatnot. I don't know what the Norwegians would have been doing. Just ice cores? Who knows? Probably.
And that's how they found that spaceship.
Yeah, it is. So
yeah. And they're like, let's bring this back, guys.
Right.
Yeah. And then the Norwegians fly in and are shooting at a dog. And I think it's really bold of that guy to like break his window to join the gunfight in Antarctica.
I'm like, well, this is fine. Like, let the air in, I guess. We'll freeze to death.
Like, we're not going to need to do anything about this later.
You're not.
We never went back to the broken window.
You're not at the OK Corral, buddy. Like, just open the door and shoot.
It wasn't the only broken window in the movie, so
true.
Like,
and they probably had
doors, windows, whatever.
Do what you will. None of us are getting out of here.
It's fine.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I forgot that about John Carpenter movies because I don't watch them very often.
Oh, what?
That like those ones particularly, they don't have happy endings.
No.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Not interested in that.
Yeah.
No. I liked it. I thought it was a good ending.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Don't bring any of that back to us normal folk.
Basically. We're gonna wait here to die.
You guys made the mistake of bringing that shit back to our own lab. You should have left it there and not infected your whole...
Should have let the Norwegians kill the dog, I guess.
Bad life choice.
They knew what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and like side note, this movie fucking hates dogs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That was
poor
really
dogs.
Awful.
Like
we didn't need to kill every dog.
They're getting like eaten and strangled and mercy killed.
We don't know if they're the thing or not. We don't know.
I know, but come on, man.
Yeah.
Not cool. But yeah, I also like, again, in the movie, the scientists are like, well, here's a weird looking, like, split in half person. Start an autopsy.
Like, that's fine. Dig around in there.
Right.
Cause of death, eldritch horror.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
This looks like normal organs to me. It's like, well, you're doomed.
Yeah. Aside from the vessel they're contained in, they look like pretty normal organs, I guess. Got it from a fucking Resident Evil boss. It's fine.
Like, that guy was obviously infected immediately after digging around in that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine smoking like a Cheech and Chong level of marijuana, like that one guy, and then seeing that dog monster? Like,
oh my god, no.
I mean, like, if you're gonna see something like that, you might as well have that sort of blunted psychological, like...
A buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Like, everybody was drunk.
Yeah, right. Well, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
They had one pinball machine.
They had a billiards table.
They had some
poker or something.
You play cards for months on
They had a recording of Let's Make a Deal.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Like, how many times can you
rewatch that?
I've seen that
one, watch anyone. Turn it off before the end. Like, I haven't
pretty
seen
boring.
it, guy.
Oh, speaking of Antarctica, I don't know if you saw this, Travis, or if you're still friends with Julia Gallagher on Facebook. But she shared a couple months ago pictures from when her dad was stationed in Antarctica with the Air Force.
Wait, what?
In like the late 60s, early 70s.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. There was like a picture of them. They had like a tiki party.
Oh.
Inside their base.
Was she ever there by herself? Did people keep track of her the whole time? Might she be a thing?
No, her dad.
Was her dad a thing?
I don't know.
No, thankfully.
Didn't they say if it got out, it would be like 27,000 hours and everyone would be infected? We'd all have it by
It would have been a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty neat to see that. Like, so I guess you just did that, you just got drunk all the time.
That felt like a long time to me. Like 27,000 hours. I mean, I guess the whole world would take a little while, but...
Let's see. We can Google that. How many days is 27,000 hours?
It's a good amount of days.
It's a couple of years.
Number 3rd selection. People have been Googling this.
What?
Other people are watching this movie.
People are watching the thing.
What's the answer?
1,125 days.
Yeah.
Also, like a little over 3 years.
I don't know.
I guess it would have been delayed because it doesn't want to replicate anybody.
3.08 years.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's alone.
Oh, wow.
That's quick math.
Mm-hmm. You're smart. You are
smart. I calculated that shit. Like, I don't know math. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, like you were saying, they're talking about how, like, oh, we're going to win the Nobel Prize. Like, in what?
Yeah, in grossness.
In fucked up shit.
And horror.
I mean, they'll make a new Nobel Prize for it.
Yeah.
Just the what the fuck. Like.
Miscellaneous.
Yeah.
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 Got the miscellaneous.
Digging shit out of the ice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also wondered, like, are flamethrowers standard issue for science facilities?
That's a
for
really
American
good question.
ones, yes.
What about all that dynamite?
That can be good for their core taking.
Yeah.
Sure.
Again, all this points to really spying on the Soviets.
Right.
And trying to, disrupt whatever they're doing in Antarctica.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the real question is, like when we have a moon base and stuff, are there going to be flamethrowers there? Because
I think you have to upgrade to lasers if you're going to be in space.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like flamethrowers have to
be involved.
Yeah.
Wherever people are, flamethrowers need to be too.
There's always going to be a need for you to project fire like a couple of yards that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why that's so difficult for people to understand. Like, let me have a flamethrower, goddammit.
Right.
So Sharon said no, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Wasn't Elon Musk supposed to be making Wasn't Elon Musk supposed to be making an easy flamethrower for us as a joke or something?
I kind of remember that.
I don't think that you want anything that guy touches.
But yeah, I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah. No. He's not so good at things.
Yeah. No. Fuck that guy too. I thought young Keith David looked a lot like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least with his mustache that way.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah. And, like, I know that he didn't hear Wilford Brimley say it about how, like, if anyone goes off on their own, they're in danger. But, like, McCready was, like, constantly sending people on solo missions. Yeah. He's like, you go get the thing. Just you.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone else is going to stay here.
Yeah.
He wasn't a very good leader.
Well, he was drunk the whole time and sleep deprived. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Drunk and sleep deprived from the minute it started. Because he was about to turn in after his rousing game of chess, and that's when all the trouble started.
He didn't get to go take his nap.
Didn't get to.
Nope.
Yep.
Poor guy.
Yep. So what do we think? There's a debate. Was Child still human at the end?
I don't know.
Does it even matter?
It doesn't matter.
Not if it gets stuck there. Yeah.
They're both just dead.
I feel like he was like, we'll just wait this out because then we'll just both be dead.
Yep.
Right.
And then it won't matter anymore.
They had nowhere to go because they burned everything down, and it was Antarctica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the general consensus was you couldn't really let it get out. So,
right.
Like, if you got to the point where it did, you just have to stay there and you die along with it. So.
Right. Yeah. Which would have been the right answer.
He went down with his ship.
Yeah,
I think
basically.
Captain went down with his ship.
I think the Quaker Oats guy had it figured out. It's like, I have to murder everybody.
Yep.
It's the only way to be sure.
Yep.
Right. From orbit.
Right.
But yeah, like there's been a whole like thing I've seen on message boards forever about how at the end McCready you can see his breath.
Mm-hmm.
But Childs you can't.
Ooh.
And that proves that he was an alien. Like or like the light just wasn't hitting it right and so you couldn't see it either and that was just like a coincidence.
Why wouldn't it still have breath?
Because it's an alien. It's an alien, bro.
It might not be warm-blooded.
Yeah.
That's not an agreed upon stereotype for aliens, so I don't know that I believe that, but okay.
Maybe it had gills secretly.
Maybe.
Or something. I also saw someone say that maybe he had put the kerosene in the whiskey bottle, and he was able to drink it and not make a face, and then the alien also drank it and didn't react. Like, I feel like you're stretching, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
They put way too much thought into this, just like, whatever.
Yeah.
The end. They're dead.
The
end. They are dead.
Which of the forms of the monster was coolest, Danielle?
Was coolest?
Or most impressive, I guess.
They're all, like, hideous.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that the one guy was like, I'm going to be this alien, and then we burned him, but my head is loose, and now it's a head spider.
Yeah. Head spider is the
head
best.
Spider.
Yeah.
Head spider.
Like that whole sequence of like the head like falling off and like it's still like articulating, like its mouth is still moving and doing shit while it's like and then like little creepy crab legs and like eye stalks popping out, like
so cute.
What was great is that they're like, let's do the emergency procedure. Oh god, it's eating my hand through its stomach.
Yes, that was fun. I liked that one. That was good.
That guy had a special alien encounter, I guess, to have it do that.
Yeah.
The other ones were not like that. Didn't come out of the belly.
Yeah, you ever seen a belly that could eat you?
It's like, I also didn't believe the dog as the thing. Like, he's a good boy. I didn't believe him as a thing.
The dog had some amazing acting in this movie.
He was
so intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably looking at a sausage link off screen.
Dogs to pay
What's
attention,
he
right?
staring at over there?
Just looking at a wall. Yeah. He was very focused. And
I would give the Academy Award to the dog. He's the best in the whole thing.
Such a good
Chris,
boy.
did you have a favorite form of this crazy alien?
I mean, head spider.
Head spider.
Head spider.
Everyone
You
loves
can't go
head
wrong with
spider.
head spider.
Head
Like I
spider.
said, I enjoyed the stomach mouth scene, but head spider's the best, creepiest part.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
Yeah.
of those stalks on the head, that was second. So.
Yeah.
But head spider chasing, like running around, freaky.
I liked Demigorgon Dog Monster.
Yeah.
Again, like you
Demigorgon
can
Dog
see
Monster.
some strong influence there
Okay.
in Stranger Things. But
Yeah, it did look like that.
But yeah, the guy being like, okay, what the fuck? When that head rolled away, like,
Right.
he spoke for all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, any other
the
thoughts
fuck?
on The Thing before we switch
It's
gears?
just a classic. Everyone should see it.
Everyone should see it.
Maybe just
Everyone.
the once.
Yeah, just
I don't
once
think
is
I'll
enough.
watch it again.
No, that's fair, but everyone should see it to know.
Totally agree.
understand.
If you have any interest in horror movies at all, like, you must see The Thing.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like horror to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't like horror movies.
It was more, like, gross
It was like sci-fi.
and paranoia based.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy it more than Space Odyssey, though. So,
That's totally fair.
so there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't watch either of them again.
What if Hal had been decapitated and turned into a head spider?
Who?
I'm sorry, Dave in Space
Dave.
I
Odyssey.
don't
can't
know,
do
but
that,
yeah,
Dave.
I don't think it was just so boring. It's just so boring. That's,
like you gotta-
that says this to this day.
You
is
just
the
cannot
worst
let one recording
But
go without dunking on
giant
2001.
space baby.
one. Don't watch it. It's horrible.
Trippy space stuff and giant space
No.
baby.
Anyway,
Terrible.
so speaking of widely recognized classics, let's go over to They Live. Like,
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Oh my god.
I had
All I
heard
can
of the
say
thing. I've
is
not
I
heard of
came
this.
here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Man, first of all, like, great job on the casting, guys.
Yes.
That guy.
yeah,
That was a quality wrestler / actor.
He was a quality
Roddy
wrestler
Piper?
back then. Roddy
You know
Piper.
what? With his clothes on, he didn't look like a wrestler because he kind of looked like a skinny guy, and then he took his shirt off. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I see it.
I see how he.
And then some of them
like, he was,
wrestling
like,
moves he used in the
strong
fight in the
Yeah.
alley.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Oh man.
yeah.
Like, was this the graphic nudity or no?
no, that's the booze.
was pretty
flop at
graphic.
the end,
Sexual
Chris.
activity, just these two guys.
I mean, it was pretty erotic.
The
It
forever
was.
fight. I don't understand why he's so vehemently against just putting on the glasses.
I know. Like, you could have been done
like,
with this.
humor your crazy friend out here and put on the fucking glasses.
I think at first he's like, this guy is like crazy and I need to go back to my family.
That's fine.
And then it just became stubbornness. Like,
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what's it going to hurt you to humor your crazy friend here? Put him on and go, oh yeah, bud, okay, I see. And then we'll go home.
Well, after they were, like, fighting, I feel like it was like, they didn't even know what they were fighting about anymore. It's like, seriously, just like our child, like, digging our heels in. Because this is what I decide I want to do. And at the end, like, what were we even, like, doing this for? Like,
you have to be the one that wins. That's it. That's what comes down to it.
Travis said this is what guys do, and I'm like, and this is why y'all gonna be extinct soon. Like,
this is just what we do.
We do that sometimes. We're
not gonna be needed on this planet. We women will take over if we smart.
Sometimes you have to have WrestleMania with your friends.
Blessed enough to be able to fight physically, but I did the same thing with words.
There you go.
So I will be right by the end of this, no matter what.
I don't even care what the thing we're arguing about is anymore. I'm just gonna
not anymore. I'm gonna be right. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So I will say, like, when I found out that there was a short story that this movie was based on, I'm like, what is this going to be like that they made this movie out of it? Mm-hmm. And having read it, it 100% makes sense. This is exactly the movie they needed to make out of that short story. Like,
okay.
It's 6 pages long.
My God, we watched that much of a movie?
Yep.
That's why so much of the movie was Roddy Piper staring at things.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a third staring, a third fighting, and then a third, like, the rest.
Story.
Yeah.
That was it.
And it was like a creative writing assignment, basically. And it was written with that level of thought. Like,
yeah.
So, anyway, the short story is called 8 o'clock in the morning. Written by Ray Nelson, otherwise known as Riddell Faraday Nelson.
Whoa.
Okay.
Written in 1963.
Okay, that makes sense.
Ray lived from 1931 until, like, last year.
Wow.
He died in 2022.
Wow.
He was born in New York, high school in Michigan, college in Chicago, but he also studied in Paris, where he met Jean-Paul Sartre.
Oh my God.
And Simone de Beauvoir. And Allen Ginsberg. So, like, you can really feel the influence from Jean-Paul Sartre in this.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely like The Stranger or Nausea. He claims to have invented the propeller beanie hat.
Another helicopter hat.
Helicopter hat. A literal helicopter hat.
A literal helicopter hat.
Ray started out writing, like, sci-fi comics, and that's what I posted in the Skype.
Mm-hmm.
And had multiple short stories published. He also adapted his 6-page story into a comic book called Nada in '86, which, I don't know, that feels more like the source for how, like, John Carpenter might have found out about it.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt he was like, what short stories were published in the 60s that I can make?
Probably not.
He also collaborated with Philip K. Dick on the Ganymede takeover.
Oh.
So he, like, knows everybody, including in one of his writer's workshops. One of his students was Anne Rice.
What?
Oh, jeez.
Jesus.
That is the only name I've recognized in all of these names. That
what?
I know Anne Rice.
Let's circle back to that in a second.
Yeah.
This explains why Lestat was always wearing a propeller hat.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So Philip K. Dick wrote the book that Blade Runner was based on.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and
which was
other
good. And other
people
ones
mentioned you should know about.
I don't know them.
Jean,
I didn't read those.
You didn't take a French literature class ever?
Nope, no French literature.
I mean, I've heard of the names.
You're not a big fan of the Beat poets?
No, I didn't even
never
read
Howl?
I have Howl.
You never read On the Road and heard about Allen Guinness from that?
Oh.
All right.
Like, I didn't read On the Road, but Susie did in college in one of her lit classes. So when we did a On the Road inspired bunch of photos, we went up to Minneapolis one time. It was pretty fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
But sexy vampires.
Yeah. Yes.
That lady I know.
And I've seen her, I saw her house in New Orleans when I went in '98, and we did a little city tour, and they said, and this is Anne Rice's house. It has a hyena on its balcony. A hyena statue, because it annoys the neighbors.
That's the only reason to have it.
Yeah.
Well, and Well, they were apparently rather nosy and bitchy and complained a lot about stuff. So she stuck it up there so they'd have to see it every morning they woke up from their window.
Hooray! Perfect.
Yeah.
It's a perfect level of pettiness.
Schooling Karens one day at a
time. Yeah.
So again, this is like 6 pages, and the basic beats on here, like I could probably read it to you in just as much time, but George Nada gets too awakened by a hypnotist, and then he can see everything. Like he can see the fascinators.
Yeah.
And these are like reptilian, green, 4-eyed aliens. They're basically like mind flayers. Like they're sending psychic messages out to everybody. Like, we're your friends. Like, don't see us. Like, just obey what we're telling you. Like,
watch your television.
Marry and reproduce. Yeah. And they also seem to be eating people on occasion. So,
occasionally.
Yeah.
He keeps finding them with like forks and knives. So, once it's suspected that he's awake, like a cop calls him, he's like, by the way, you're really old and you're going to die of a heart attack at 8 tomorrow. Goodbye. So he goes on the run, hides out in a bar, and then his girlfriend's house, and has a quick timeout for some domestic violence.
Yep.
Great.
Okay.
It's like, she's like, you're going crazy. Like, slap, slap. Maybe you're going crazy. But he eventually discovers that their powers don't really work if they don't think it's going to work. So he gets on a broadcast and tells everyone's up. But then, sadly, he doesn't live long enough to see the humans' victory, because he in fact dies at 8 o'clock the next morning of a heart attack.
Oh, shit.
Oh, the main guy?
Wow.
He didn't die of a heart attack.
No, and that's one thing I wish they had kept.
Yeah,
so I thought that was a nice Twilight Zone type ending. But so the movie, this one came out in 1988. John Carpenter says that his screenplay was like a direct response to Reaganomics and commercialism, and I see it.
Definitely.
See some 80s excess in this movie.
That's what I like about it. Yeah, the fashion show and all the other shit.
I was shocked when it said it debuted at -- 1 in North America.
Really?
What?
But then I looked it up, and it was like the only movie that came out that week. It was up against Mystic Pizza and Halloween 4, which had both been out for a couple of weeks.
I feel like they're all about the same quality.
And the very next week, Child's Play came out. And Ernest Saves Christmas. So if it had been 1 week later, they would not have been #1.
Wow.
Right. Been
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Wow.
Followed quickly by Oliver and Company.
Yeah.
Land Before Time. And then a couple weeks later was Scrooged. So it found its niche.
Oliver and Company and Land Before Time were the movies I saw that year. So.
Same.
I
saw Billy Joel as a talking dog.
He was really good
as
a talking dog.
Yep.
And I saw Littlefoot's mom die.
That was
very sad.
Spoiler alert.
But I could have been seeing WrestleMania. But
my mom didn't like reading me that book because it made her cry when we had to do that part.
There was a book?
It's a children's adaptation with lovely pictures. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's the movie.
I was like, do we have to do the next? This is our next book, like Land Before
I don't think you can find. No, it's just the movie adaptation, but in a kid's book.
I got.
Plus, I don't think you could find it anymore, anyways. So.
Yeah. Well, critics, I think, rightfully, had a negative response to this movie. As a,
I'm not surprised.
as a movie.
Yeah.
But, again, it developed a cult following and is apparently regarded as one of his best. Although, I'm going to disagree slightly with Wikipedia that it's his best.
Yeah.
Maybe his most enjoyable.
It's good social commentary entertainment.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It could have been a short film, though.
It could have, yes. Cut down on some of the steering.
But yeah, they did.
No, you can't get rid of the fight.
You gotta have that.
No, it doesn't work unless it's a 40-minute fight scene. Yeah, that's the thing that works.
It is
because every time you thought they were going to stop, you're not halfway through.
I was like, "Oh, look, they're buddies." Oh no,
nope.
It is.
They're not. They're still going.
I will argue forever. It is the best movie fight scene.
Yes.
Like, I'll die on
totally
that.
Up there.
Yeah. Kind of realistic, like...
I liked afterwards they both had, like, bloody, like, swollen faces. And you don't see that.
That would happen. Normally, you're right, normally you don't see that. But then they trudged into that, crappy hotel, both looking like they got the shit kicked out of them.
But then when they were cleaned up, then their faces weren't swollen anymore, so that was, like, a little... But, like, until they cleaned up, they did look like they had gotten into it for real.
Right. Yeah. Props for some authenticity of it,
And it's, still had a lot of influence because, we had all that, Andre the Giant Obey street art that came out. Not so long ago, and like t-shirts and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway, the budget of this movie was only $3 million, so that's like a steal.
Yeah. I can't believe it was even that, honestly.
Yeah. And it made $13 million in the North American box office, so
nice,
totally successful.
That is a smash.
Yeah, that was back in the day, so that's like a lot.
Yeah. So, just some other thoughts from the movie. I think this is probably the most people to ever listen to a street preacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
I think 5 people were listening, and that's crazy to me.
Do we even still have street preachers anymore?
Yeah. Well. There's a guy that would stand at the corner by the highway with a sign, at least, and shout at people who are parked there. So, yeah, we have them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in years, but I'm a different market, so.
In Texas, we get everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
We get all kinds, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, can you imagine living in a world with a shrinking middle class that's, being preyed upon by, a select few rulers?
I can't really... Oh, wait. Wait a minute. That sounds awfully familiar. Yeah.
It was a documentary.
It's a documentary.
And it happened in real time.
People are obsessed with making money and status. Money's their god. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would offer me something to sell out. I want to try that out and see how it feels.
For hundreds of millions of dollars?
Yeah. Try me. Let's see. Maybe I'll like it.
And a potential space trip somewhere. I mean, that might be okay.
Just hold your suitcase tight so that you can don't lose it on your trip.
Yep. Oh, and don't forget too, Travis, the changing atmospheric composition.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's true. They're warming it up.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that probably was the thing, because they were talking about how it was going to take them until 2025 to take over.
2025, we're almost completed.
But you can instantly travel through the universe. Couldn't you just bring a gun back with you? Do we have to have the humans still here?
Yeah, we entertain them, and maybe they'll eat us in the future.
But they could just capture us. We saw Planet of the Apes. We know how this goes.
Why did they want to come here and then work?
It's what they do.
What were they doing?
Well, but they weren't working.
They're working to drive the human society in ways they want it to go.
Yeah,
and conspiring with the sellout elites for it, so they can get all the resources.
They got all the cushy jobs, the do-nothing jobs.
Yeah, if I was an alien and they're like, "Go do this," they're like, "Can I have a different assignment?" This sounds boring.
You know what? You sound like you could join us. How would you like to make lots of money and sell out your kind? What are we talking about here? What's the price?
They should also be careful who they, get to, work for them in the elite. Because that one guy was just here's all the secrets. I'm just going to take you through and tell you everything. And you're in street.
Well, hey, he saw them. He saw them there. I didn't know you guys were in on it.
I was who is that guy? I'm that's totally one of the homeless guy.
That was the guy watching the TV, bitching about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I only recognize the girl with the headache.
Hi, I have a headache.
Me too, sweetheart. When Roddy Piper made his entrance into the film, Danielle said, "Oh, he's got camel toe with a wiener."
He totally did.
That was 80s jeans for fit men.
And then later, Travis is like, "What do you know? He sure does."
He sure
did. He did.
I saw that. I keep getting Instagram ads for apparently these new jeans. They're supposed to be this one company, the most comfortable jeans ever because they're super stretchy.
Yeah.
So that way they fit, but they don't crush your shit. So
is that the tagline?
Kind of
brand jeans.
No.
Pillow pants.
Unfortunately not.
And then they kept pulling it up. It's let's make this tighter up there. Let's go for it. Let's keep pulling it up.
Usually he would wrestle in a kilt. So he doesn't know what's going on with pants.
That's true.
He didn't know.
This was his first time wearing jeans.
Right. In a professional context.
What are you talking about? The guy's Canadian. Like he knows denim.
Sure does.
He was born wearing a jean jacket.
I liked how he was like homeless, but he had all these different shirts.
Yeah.
That was
he had
nice.
a backpack.
He got some extra shirts.
Well, because he went around working on different...
Yeah, they were so clean.
He went around working on different construction sites, right? He had money. He just didn't have a place to stay.
He had been in Denver for a while or whatever.
Yeah.
Until the job started drying up. And then he walked to... I guess that was L.A.? Where was this?
Yeah, that was L.A. I figured he took a bus. Used some of his last Denver money to get the bus there.
Nah, he probably rode the rails, you know?
Yeah, he could have done that. That's
true. Walked out of the train depot from, in the beginning. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Fucking box cart it.
Mm-hmm.
He did have a harmonica.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he talked to some hobos.
You know what, though? Like, the biggest mystery is when he was, like, wanted. Where did they get that picture of him? With shorter hair somehow.
Yeah, that was from his college hockey days or something.
Oh, okay.
Thought it was his old driver's license.
Like who dug this up?
Find this guy.
Yeah. So how did the glasses change what he was hearing?
I think it is just like you have to think of it as the hypnosis thing.
Yeah.
And
it's
rewiring your brain. That's why your head hurts after using them for a while.
Yeah.
It's like a drug, man.
So you're able to hear afterwards just because you're more awake now and aware. And before you maybe just wouldn't have noticed it or something. I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's like that time that Riker was playing that one game with the headset.
Yeah.
Yes. The discs go in the funnel.
Yeah.
Yes.
And something nefarious was going on.
Yep.
And definitely not like just giving the whole Enterprise weird orgasms.
Yep.
Why don't they make that into a movie?
They should.
They should.
The game, the movie.
The game, the movie.
You just lost.
We'll just get you to say that, Chris. You just lost.
Chris just got everybody in Zambia, too.
Oh,
just lost the game.
Yeah. Oh, everyone lost the game.
Right.
So yeah, guys, can you also imagine a world where police would harass the poor and homeless for no reason?
Really? No.
What's that about?
Never.
So far-fetched.
Yeah, I can't believe it. That's beyond.
That they would do that.
It's NIMBY the movie, you guys.
Especially not the white ones.
Right. No, not at all.
This is just a work of fiction, I guess.
Total fiction.
Yeah. I guess at first I was like, he really took a quick turn from being like, oh, I just keep my head down and do the work, to being like, I'm going to go into a bank with lots of guns.
Yeah.
But I guess it was that attack on the homeless camp that did it for him.
Yeah.
Also, why didn't the guy that was, sort of running it, that, was in the homeless camp and then in the church, why didn't he try to, recruit all of the homeless people so they could have had more people?
Oh,
because your eyes had to be open, right? Man.
They didn't really do it, and then they did not have a good club.
I mean, you gotta be careful who you let in, man. You don't know who to trust.
Because some of the humans were working for the aliens.
Yeah, that's true, but
even
probably
some
not
of the
homeless
people. Well, no, because the one homeless guy.
Well, they recruited that one guy, so who knows?
I guess he did.
Yeah.
I guess they were running out of people to choose. I guess it was last resort over there.
Anybody can sell out for the right price.
Yeah. Yeah, including you.
Try it for me. I want to see.
And if you're homeless, you're going to take stability.
Yeah. Well, weren't they even trying? They were in the middle of making all those glasses to distribute to people. So
yeah,
I feel like they were trying.
Right,
they were trying.
Where were they sending them? They were running off with those boxes, driving away. Who are you giving those to?
I don't know, man. Oh. Maybe they had other chapters,
maybe
somewhere else.
You gotta.
That lady fucking tried to murder him when she knocked him out that window.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That was intense.
Yeah.
I guess it ended up making sense, but at the time, oh my god.
Yeah.
Right? She just tried to knock him out and wait for the police to come, but no.
She tried to murder him. She wasn't a good one.
Turns out. Bitch. She's supposed to be a love interest, but, you know.
Yeah, but it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah. No happy endings, remember?
No happy endings.
I was most sad about his buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she just, took him out.
The only one that we know of that had a family?
Did you know that, he started in a purple tank top, and then later he was in a purple short sleeve shirt, so, purple was his color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah.
Because purple is the color of royalty, and it was Keith fucking David.
He was awesome. I feel bad for him, though. He had to go from, fighting aliens straight into this.
He still has a purple vest on when he's Dr. Facilier, too, so that's just his thing.
He was wearing purple as the Shadow God, right?
Shadow Guy, yeah. And when he was a gargoyle. Okay, maybe he was more blue, but...
Wait, he was a gargoyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved gargoyles.
He was the gargoyle.
He was Goliath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that too.
He was Goliath?
Show.
Oh,
you can hear the voice now, right?
Yeah, I can.
He was the Cape or whatever, or he trained the Cape or something.
I loved Gargoyles. What a great show.
Whatever that show was that I only know about because of Community.
Gargoyles was great.
6 seasons in a movie.
Exactly.
They gotta get the movie out and they'll be okay.
Did they have 6 seasons?
Yeah.
No, that was... Oh, yeah.
Community did.
Yes.
Not
Community.
the Cape.
Yeah, not the Cape.
Not
no.
Community.
Abed wanted the Cape to have 6 seasons
yes.
in the movie, but...
Which is, where that whole thing comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but they had a couple of seasons on, Yoo-Hoo. Or Yahoo.
Yoo-Hoo?
Oh, man, if they were on Yoo-Hoo, if you had to buy cases of Yoo-Hoo and they were comics...
Doing the white trash Russians.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
totally.
Yoo-Hoo.
Totally.
Thing of my past.
What?
Only
past?
Only the fancy kids
It could
had
be a thing of your
day.
Future.
Yeah,
there's
like chocolate water.
You already have Dunkaroos in our cupboard.
They're good.
No, the Dunkaroos are gone. Simon ate them all. Sorry.
Shit.
Yeah, they brought back
Travis, you gotta get your own supply.
I guess so.
So, can't leave them where the kids will find them. But they're not kangaroo crackers now. They're weird round ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Like cookies. It's not as great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was at the time when we were just in love with Australian things. Like Crocodile Dundee.
Yes. And the Outback Steakhouse.
And Dunkaroos.
And
those shoes that had the kangaroo pouch in them.
Oh, yeah.
That you could put 1 quarter into.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And could never get it out again.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
With the kangaroo on it? Yeah. I remember those shoes.
You need to make a phone call somewhere. You could
and then when they changed it to 35 cents, they're like, well, our
fuck no, can't do it.
That's when you got to start calling everyone collect.
Yeah.
Make
them pay for it. You guys you should pay to talk to me.
Danielle's starting a 900 number. We're announcing it today.
Okay.
Why did that truck dump all that trash in the alleyway?
I don't know.
The back is open
sense.
and this is fine. I just put that all in, but whatevs.
Were they supposed to raise it up?
Even if he didn't know the back was open, why did he tilt it up?
And then drive off with it up.
Just drove up. I'm sure the first overpass he was a massive accident.
Yeah.
Though, that was the cleanest trash I have ever seen in my life.
I said that too. Very clean trash.
Hey, because if I were Roddy Piper climbing into trash, it ain't going to be dirty.
It's he's like, yeah, I will not do this. This is not my contract.
That would be gross.
He's like, I'm not selling out for this.
Exactly.
Hard no for me.
Hard no. Also, why did the aliens have a PKE meter? Are there also ghosts in this universe?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. Ghostbusters.
Right.
But they were using it to find humans, maybe.
Oh, yes. Are we ghosts?
Maybe we are.
Were we dead the whole time?
We
you know,
they live.
You got a ghost inside you.
Yeah.
Hard to say what exactly is going on.
They live. We are scary ghosts.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Also, at the end, was it implied that the alien influence is why people don't like George Romero and John Carpenter movies? Because the people on the news were like, ugh, those guys suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the off-screen. He's like, you look terrible. What?
I liked how much weight he thought that kind of thing carried. Hey, old lady in the supermarket, you look ugly now.
Yeah. Formaldehyde based. I'm like, you know what? If you would have just no one would know that you could see this and you could sort it out.
He could see us. He's a tall white, and then there's like tall white male wearing sunglasses. Like,
there's probably only Jesus. One of them in L.A.
Yeah,
or wherever they were. And like, they got that watch, and it made like a portal, and they were like underground, but then also in like a banquet hall.
Yeah, don't
like where did that take them?
You know,
under the cable building or whatever.
If you're gonna have a secret banquet hall, like why not underground?
It's secure.
If you've got interstellar space travel there too. Might as well.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, oh, I hope nobody saw Oscar Wonder here. Like they all saw you. Where do they think you went? You jumped in a hole.
Well, the rebel. Yeah. Well, they just couldn't get in there. Like
Yeah.
Don't know.
I also liked the readily available like assault weapons and Uzis and shotguns. But again, like that's true to the short story too. Like he just gets a bunch of guns.
Or it could just be Texas present day.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's true to LA back then.
Yep. Oh man.
Nobody thought about it. It was fine.
So, yes. The movie is a delight. And should be seen by everybody.
On the whole, so it was yeah, exactly. But
it was so fun.
So you know what? I liked it better than Space Odyssey.
Okay,
like
so
we said,
Planet
boobs
of the Apes.
Are at the end. Just some flopping boobs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
riding
Planet
an
of the
alien
Apes has
pole.
been like my favorite, and I didn't even expect to like that one.
Yeah.
So
Danielle's going to start the Bizarro AFI and like have her own list of movies like
Do not watch those.
To actively avoid.
Yes, it's not a bad idea.
I like to persuade people. like yesterday, we were at a holiday market, and my sister and I are like, this holiday market is like, we go to this one every year. Like, this one's a really good one. We're like, yeah, not like that Nutcracker market. Don't ever go to the Nutcracker market. It's so terrible. And like this lady that's walking by, she's like, I'm sorry, which one did you say you shouldn't go to? It's like the Nutcracker market. Like, it's really bad. Like, don't go there. Like, see, we're gonna get all these people turned off of that.
Danielle's
just by making comments.
An influencer.
There we go.
Influence these people.
An IRL influencer.
Like, this is terrible. Don't do it. Space Odyssey is horrible. Don't watch it. Watch something else. Watch They Live instead.
I mean, I wouldn't be that angry if someone redirected me to They Live. Yeah.
Yeah. Watch. If you're gonna watch the Space Odyssey or They Live, watch They Live. It's at least shorter.
It is a little bit shorter. That's true. Yeah. So
that's true.
Any final thoughts on They Live / 8 o'clock in the morning?
Like where can I see more of that guy in things? Like
Roddy Piper?
Yeah.
WrestleMania tapes?
Ew.
Yeah. I guess.
Was this like the only acting thing he did?
I don't know.
I think he maybe tried his hand at some other stuff, but this was the most popular one.
Yeah. Let's go to the IMDb.
You know what? If it is though, like John Cena succeeded, where maybe he didn't, because he's gotten to be in more movies than like The Rock.
Roddy Piper
and The Rock,
The Rock for sure.
So that John Cena could run.
Yeah, so they could run.
Yeah. Totally agree. I guess I
think the thing is that Roddy Piper had too much hair. Like, if you're going to be like a wrestler and be successful, you got to have less, I guess.
He is Canadian. That's the only hair he's allowed to have.
Yes. That exact style.
Government issue hockey hair.
Yes.
Oh my god, look how old he is now.
Yeah.
I mean,
a picture.
He was on. My internet's going super slow.
That Meg Foster, is she related to Jodie Foster?
No idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Doubtful.
There's a lot of people with the last name Foster.
That was like a twist I didn't see. I didn't expect her to be a bad one.
Even though she was the program director at the radio station or TV station where they're broadcasting all the bullshit from.
Right. Just shot his best friend.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he was in all these things?
He was in The Green Fairy as Oscar Wilde.
Oh.
I've never heard of that.
And he was in Portal to Hell as Jack.
So not
and he was in Adventure Time.
Okay. One episode.
Counts. And he was in Hell Comes to Frogtown. See, there's lots of stuff we can watch.
Wow.
There you go.
Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Perfect.
Meg Foster.
Yeah, is she related to Jodie Foster? Or does it tell us about her family? Oh, she was born in Pennsylvania. I don't think that Jodie Foster was.
No.
No, it doesn't look like it.
She was in she was Evil Lynn in Masters of the Universe.
She was.
She was.
Wait, find a for real picture of her. Her eyes really that color? Oh my god.
I thought they were contacts.
No, they look like they are that color.
The first thing that mentions in her IMDb
blue-eyed brunette
is that she's got blue eyes.
They are very blue.
Crazy, man.
Strikingly blue. But you know what? I can't forgive her. What a bitch.
She was in Pretty Little Liars, and that's exactly what she was.
She was a pretty little liar.
She was a pretty little liar. Anyway. Yeah. Any other final thoughts on this movie? Did I already ask that?
Yeah, you did.
You did?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just that I'm glad I finally got to see it and got to see the origin of the bubblegum kick-ass comment.
Yeah, that's where Duke Nukem got it from.
Yeah. Bubblegum.
Yep. So, do you have any recommendations of other stuff you could go see if you liked either of these films that are more in that genre?
No, because I like possession movies that are scarier.
You like more of the scarier ones?
I don't watch shit like this, so I have no idea.
Yeah. I thought about, although it's not nearly as fun for They Live, that movie that Charlie Sheen was in, The Arrival.
Oh, yeah.
Had a similar kind of vibe to it, where you're like kind of discovering, oh shit, aliens.
Yeah, there they are.
And for The Thing, although it's not nearly as body horror centric, It Follows has that same kind of like paranoia, mistrust of people. Like the bad guy in that movie always kind of creeps in from the background. You're never sure who's it at the time.
Yeah.
So
there's I don't know if you want to go classic, like there's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and that kind of stuff.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep. Although I guess Danielle would agree with me, they need more movies with Roddy Piper like this.
Yeah.
I want to see a whole series of him fighting.
I want to see him looking at other stuff. Maybe fighting some other people. Like, what else
different
can we do?
genes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Maybe having some genes that fit. Let's give that a try.
No, 80s.
Give that a
not
try.
part of his idiom.
Oh.
Exactly.
It's part of his look.
Yeah. You wouldn't know it's him.
I guess
exactly.
not.
Really
like,
wouldn't.
no camel toe with wiener. I don't think that's Roddy Piper.
You know, I honestly, really, right now, want to watch The Final Sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. With or without MST3K on it?
Well, I mean, definitely with MST3K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Roused hour.
I
wonder if there's beer on the sun. I could see Roddy Piper saying that in this movie.
Yeah.
I just like that his name's Roddy.
Yeah.
Roddy.
Good old rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
All right.
He was very outrageous.
Fantastic. All right. Danielle, do you have anything else that's good? I know you've got a hard stop, so.
I do. I have to go ready myself.
Just to freshen up.
I got my nose pierced. You see?
Oh, I can't.
It's hard to see.
We did see that, yeah.
It was on the Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I was
check there.
Apparently on Friday the 13th, some of these like tattoo piercing shops do like discounted stuff so that they get a lot of people to come in. So it was only $13, and I'm like, oh, what the hell? I'll do it with my sister. If I don't like it, I'll take it out. But like, I like it, so I'm gonna keep it in.
Nice.
Cool. I think it's cute.
It's it doesn't fit my personality though, like at all. Someone said, someone that like you think would know me. Doesn't fit my personality. I'm like, do you know me?
No. I'm just glad you didn't come home with like a tiny dolphin tattoo.
Yeah, no, I have no tattoos.
Okay.
Also, I love it that I came home and I'm like, look at this. And Levi's like, oh, Mom, why would you do this?
You
like
ruined
so
his
embarrassed
life.
that I did this.
Oh,
and then I'm like, Simon, what do you think? And he's like, it's mid.
Wow.
Okay, thanks, kids.
Wow.
Yeah, they got a lot of opinions about things. I'm
like,
you know what, Levi, every girl on your track team is going to think that I'm the coolest mom out there, and here you are.
You're not like a normal mom, you're like a cool mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all, though. I'm going to go take a shower now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
right.
I got to go do that because I got to give my hair enough time to dry, like, and put makeup on and figure out exactly which outfit I'm wearing, like, I've got to, and I don't know. It's just, All right, well.
Okay, bye.
I'm going to go now.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Other Chris, do you have anything else that's good?
I just saw Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, was that as good as everyone says?
It is incredibly good. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of, really nice.
Really good.
Like slow burn, like pretty intense, I don't know. After the movie was over, I heard people walking out and talking about it, and somebody was like, I had no idea what was going on for most of the movie. Oh, what?
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah, so you got nothing out of this, I guess. Cool.
Unfortunately.
Shouldn't people have a basic general knowledge of this anyway? This is historical, right?
Apparently not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't, aren't aware of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I also don't know, how you could watch this movie and not understand what's going on, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless you're yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it was great. It was 3.5 hours, and it did not feel like that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I was
Have you read the book before?
At some point I'm going to have to get up and pee, and I actually didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beginning to end. Yeah.
Nice. I can't even make it through a 2-hour movie anymore.
Yeah. No.
But I made peace with that.
I never did, so.
Have you read the book before, or just the movie?
I have not read the book. It is sitting downstairs. I think Sharon would like to read it. It's in the pile,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had never read it either, and I didn't know what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
But I was interested from the trailer.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. So go watch it.
I hear that Leo DiCaprio is playing like an idiot in it.
I mean, he's,
very naive or something.
Yeah, easily manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So not his character from whatever that Boston movie was, I can't think of now.
Gangs of New York?
No.
Boston movie?
Yeah.
Oh, The Departed?
Mark. Yeah, that one.
The Departed.
Yeah.
I like how you said Boston, and I'm immediately New York. Wait.
Somebody in Boston is very offended by that.
Yeah. Go Red Sox. Dunkin' Donuts.
Get some Dunkin'.
Get some, yeah.
Go to Sox game.
Yeah.
Listen to Neil Diamond. Whatever. Well, cool. That's I know it's an Apple movie, but it's in theaters. Is it going to be on the Apple video thing? Can I watch it there?
I assume you will be able to eventually.
Mm.
Yeah.
Probably check it out. Cool.
Yeah.
Chris, do you have anything else that's good?
No, I'm supposed to be reading a book for school, but I haven't gotten around to starting yet. Which is too much shit. It's Refugee. The kids are going to read it later.
Oh.
But my principal, my AP, wanted me to read it so we can start planning for it together. But
yeah.
And I'm just tired a lot.
It is that time of year.
I don't have a lot of extra time to do shit because I got to grade and plan. And
yeah.
I did get a AC Mirage Friday, so I'm playing that a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, Assassin's Creed. Yeah. I hear it's short.
Yeah.
For an AC game.
Cheaper too. Was $50 instead of the $70 they go for now.
Yeah.
So 10 years ago it would have been $40. But it's smaller, but it's a lot more. They did bring back a lot of more traditional gameplay, so that's good.
Nice.
Yeah. It's been good doing that. It's been nice to have that back. But I'm only a few hours into it, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, how long was the Vikings one? It was
a million hours.
150 hours?
I put 200 into it. And
oh, God.
Finished it. But then they finally added an ending, so I technically didn't finish the game. But I finished the game as it was made when I finished it in 2022. So, I put 200. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you find out where the king went and that he was certain stuff, and he goes off, and then you're done.
Yeah.
But there wasn't an ending yet, and I don't feel like powering up the old Xbox and or downloading it onto the new one to play the actual ending. So, but I put 200 hours into that game. It was insane. That's true. Yeah, it's 100 to 150 if you don't dawdle and sit around for a while like I do sometimes. It was an insane amount of time.
The speed run is 90 hours?
Yeah, too big. Jesus. So now it's back down to a manageable amount, probably. And you're just in Baghdad and environs, like areas around it. So it's not a huge map.
That's cool.
But there's enough there. Like I said, it's pretty cool. It does remind me a lot of gameplay from Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah. Which is what people have been wanting.
Right.
And I don't have all the stuff yet to do. Like, I don't have the smoke bombs yet and things like that. And there's still a skill tree a bit. Mm-hmm. Like they've got from the newer games, so I have to save up to get some stuff I want. But I'm back to being able to headshot people with throwing a dagger and shit like that. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah.
Nice.
And this story's good so far.
Yeah.
Boston. So I mean, I know what happens to him from Valhalla, so I know who he becomes. Oh. But like, I know shit too why he has this nightmare all the time. I'm like, I know what that is. It's not manifesting, but I know what that is because I know who you are in the future. So, but it's good. It's a good story so far. It's fun place. Like half of it's in Arabic. So
yeah,
because they keep saying Arabic phrasing about stuff with God. So like, I'm like, that's interesting because it's the 9th century, so it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
I hear that like the codex in the game is actual historical knowledge
about
stuff. So you can actually learn from playing this game?
Yeah. It pops up a lot. You get from a lot of things, and it has a neat feature. So you read the entry, and you can hit Y, and it expands it out, and you hit right bumper, and it takes away the data page, so you can see the whole picture of what they're using. Like artifacts and real places and stuff from that time period. It's pretty neat.
Cool.
So I really like that feature. Yeah.
Now they just need to actually send your consciousness back in time.
If only they could do that.
Just wake your ancestral DNA and use that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only it was real. That'd be fantastic. Fantastic.
Then you could do assassin-y stuff when you came back. Or whatever. Yep. Yeah. It'd be cool.
I wish I could.
If only.
I'd be happy fighting against the Templars or whoever the fuck they'd be now. So, yeah.
Oops.
Weird lizard aliens.
Yeah. You'd be one of the fascinators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There have to have been an Isu for all that to work out, and all of our best evidence doesn't point to any kind of hominids existing at a high level civilization a million years ago or whatever it was. So 100,000, 250,000 years ago, like there's no evidence. There would be. So
can't win them all.
No Atlantis kids. Sorry.
Next time, maybe.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I'm like, I'll have to get some Babasted dirhams because I see them online and at coin shows. So I'll have to get a couple for my collection. They're simple, but they're nice.
I feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coins. So I had a couple of audiobooks that I listened to recently that are kind of in line with like a spooky season type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I listened to How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
He's written a handful of like kind of like horror movie inflected books, like The Final Girls Club or something like that. But this one was kind of interesting. It was about a girl whose mom had some sort of like lamb chop type of puppet success locally.
Yeah.
Like, this puppet that she did kids shows for, it was famous for. She and her husband pass away, and she has to go back and get their house ready to sell. But her, like, no-account brother actually is inheriting the house and, like, not going to give her any money or whatever, and has to deal with a bunch of crap with their house. And, as you might have guessed from the title, like, some spooky shit starts happening involving puppets. And whatnot.
Lamb chop puppet.
Dolls and stuff, and like taxidermied things in the house.
So, oh God, no thanks.
Depending on what part of the story I was in, I was enjoying it more or less.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the beginning setup, talking about just the relationship the main lady had with her parents, and how her mom always used to read her The Velveteen Rabbit, and she would cry every time because she hates that book, and it's so sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
And her mom misinterpreted that as it being her favorite book.
Oh, God.
And how she's like, I'm never going to subject my kid to this. But the first book that her mom gets for her kid is, of course, The Velveteen Rabbit.
Oh, man.
Right.
But now she uses it to get her to get ready for bed at night, or else we won't read this book. So it's a very succinct type of exploration of like, well, I'm never going to be like my parents, but I'll be slightly different.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that.
You say that, and then you realize there's some maybe good points.
There's maybe a reason why they did it, but there's also a section where you find out what her brother was doing in the years that he like dropped out of college, which I think are really
possessed or something. That would be my guess.
Really interesting exploration of puppetry and art and like committing to it. And I think they play it straight, but a very tongue-in-cheek section talking about how he started like this puppet collective that they were doing like radical avant-garde art, and they get hired to do like a 4th grade puppet show, and they use it to talk about the war in Iraq and how like all of these innocent kids are dying and getting bombed, and like they have the giant Grim Reaper in it, and terrorizing the kids.
Oh, jeez.
And then talking about how the principal's a big phony because like he doesn't pay them after they're traumatized.
I wouldn't pay for that show.
So
like that's not what we agreed on, maybe.
So I liked it a lot up until the point where it tipped all the way into horror, and I'm like, okay, finish it out. But mostly it was good.
Yeah,
cool.
The other one I just finished is called House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland, and this is one that I just got because of a 2-for-1 sale on Audible. But it looked interesting. It's about 3 sisters who, on a random New Year's Eve, just disappear and are gone for several weeks. And then they come back, and they're found like on a street, naked, and all of their hair is turned white. And like their dad is pretty convinced that they are changelings, and slowly goes insane and kills himself.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that's all like backstory to the book, but this focuses on the oldest sister disappearing again, and the other 2 trying to figure out what happened to her and like what's going on. So a lot of it for me was like trying to figure out like, well, how far off of the deep end are we going with this? Like, is it like a child abduction like type thing? Like, are we going to find out it was like a family member or a crazy person who later just came back to finish the job or whatever? Or how far are we tilting over here? Because they talk about how they're always hungry, like they can never eat enough. Their hair is different. People do stuff that they ask them to do, like, and can't resist not doing it. So I'm like, okay, well, are they vampires now? Are they mermaids or something, like sirens? Like,
yeah.
Are they changelings? Are they ghosts? Like, did they die? Like, who are these people? Because of course they have no memory of it. So just kind of exploring their past while trying to find their sister. So
interesting.
It took its time building up to what actually happened, and I thought it had a pretty decent payoff.
Okay.
So,
cool.
So if you need a spooky type of thing, I can recommend that one.
Okay.
Alright, guys. Well, I gotta go figure out what the fuck I'm wearing, too.
Yeah,
okay.
That you do. Yeah.
Figure it out.
I guess. I'll just wear this. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Danielle will love that.
This is what I look like.
Danielle will not be upset by that at all.
She will not have a problem. Right.
Yeah. This is what I look like, okay?
Yep.
It's supposed to capture me.
Idealize you, yes. Yes.
Fine. Okay, that was our session for today. Only homework for this time is to go find someone who hasn't seen these movies and watch them together. And if they refuse, drag them into an alley and kick the shit out of them until they agree. And make sure to bring popcorn. For On Second Thoughts today, a rare occasion where the second thought comes from somebody else. Other Chris mentioned in our Slack chat that he forgot to bring up his favorite pop culture reference to They Live when we were recording. So to remedy that, I'm putting a link to the scene in question in the What Else Is Good section. So if you aren't already there, go to rtfbpod.com, pull up this episode, and go find those links. Or if you're listening on YouTube, first of all, why? But also, those links are in the description area instead. Today's episode is secretly telling Chris Ham to marry and reproduce, is influencing Other Chris Jacobson to work 8 hours, play 8 hours, and sleep 8 hours, has already convinced Danielle Neither Chris Rowe that money is her god. It was edited by me, Travis Rowe, or at least a convincing copy of me, and was sponsored by no one in particular. Until next time, keep fucking reading.
Alright, come on, kittens. I hear you fighting over there. Let's go. Come on, kittens.
Alright, I'm gonna take the good chair.
Do it.
I've been sitting on a footstool.
Put this back on the floor and see how fast you get a cat then.
In cardboard. Oh, my ass.
Oh no, what happened?
Don't throw it down there. They're gonna start scratching it now.
We'll send them out. Fine. Oh, look. Who's emerging?
Immediately. Take that out of here. Take that with you.
She's not going to butt you on it. She just wanted to sit in it.
Put the glasses on.
Alright, that's what I take this outside.
You take that cardboard or you start eating that trash.
Was there cardboard on the floor? Must come out immediately. There you go.
Damn cats.